Osama bin Laden, a name that echoes with the weight of history, controversy, and fear. Born in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, in 1957, Osama was the 17th of 52 children from a wealthy and influential family. His father, Mohammed bin Laden, was a billionaire construction magnate with close ties to the Saudi royal family. Osama's upbringing was a blend of privilege and strict religious upbringing, which would go on to shape his worldview in ways the world could hardly imagine. Osama's childhood was marked by the juxtaposition of luxury and the teachings of a conservative interpretation of Islam. He attended elite schools, but it was in his teenage years that he began showing signs of a different path. Influenced by the Islamic revivalist movements of the time, young Osama started leaning towards radical ideologies, drawing a line between his opulent surroundings and his growing discontent with Western influence in the Muslim world. His first significant taste of conflict came in the 1980s, during the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. Like many others, Osama saw the invasion as a call to arms, a chance to defend fellow Muslims against foreign invaders. He traveled to Pakistan and then to Afghanistan, where he joined the Mujahideen fighters. With his wealth and connections, he became not just a fighter but a financier, supplying weapons, funds, and logistical support to the cause. This period would solidify his belief that foreign, particularly Western, influences were the root of many of the world's ills, a belief that would define his life's mission. As the Soviet Union withdrew from Afghanistan, Osama returned home as a hero. However, it wasn't long before tensions rose between him and the Saudi regime, especially when U.S. troops were stationed in Saudi Arabia during the Gulf War. He viewed this as an unacceptable occupation of Muslim holy lands by infidels. His outspoken criticism led to his exile, first to Sudan and later to Afghanistan, where he formed the terrorist group al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda wasn't just a militant group, it was a network, an ideology that sought to unite Muslims worldwide in a holy war against the perceived enemies of Islam. Osama, with his calm demeanor and soft-spoken rhetoric, managed to rally many to his cause. But beneath the surface, he orchestrated some of the most devastating terrorist attacks the world has ever seen, including the 1998 U.S. Embassy bombings in Africa, the 2000 USS Cole bombing, and, most infamously, the September 11th attacks in 2001.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. If you're enjoying this deep dive into the life of Osama bin Laden, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join the Supreme Wizard community. We bring you gripping stories from history, untold tales of power, and the human side of legends and villains alike. Now back to the story.
Osama bin Laden was more than just the mastermind behind al-Qaeda. He was a father, a husband, and a leader who believed, however misguidedly, that he was fighting for a noble cause. Those who knew him described a quiet, almost humble man, deeply religious and fiercely dedicated to his mission. But it's these contradictions that make his story so complex. How does a man who claimed to fight for justice justify the murder of thousands of innocent people? In the years following 9/11, Osama became the world's most wanted man, evading capture through a network of loyal supporters and a deep understanding of the terrain. For a decade, he moved between various hideouts in Afghanistan and Pakistan, until that fateful night in 2011 when U.S. Navy SEALs found him in a compound in Abbottabad, Pakistan. His death marked the end of a chapter, but his legacy continues to shape global politics and the fight against terrorism. Osama bin Laden's life is a stark reminder of the complexities of faith, power, and ideology. He was a man of deep convictions, but those convictions led to unimaginable horrors. Understanding his story is crucial, not to sympathize, but to learn how such paths are forged and, hopefully, how they can be prevented.